And in this video, we're going to continue from the previous one where we talked about air pollution. Now, we have discussed some types of air pollutants. We mentioned oxides of carbon 4-oxide and carbon 2-oxide. We mentioned the oxides of sulfur 4-oxide and sulfur 6-oxide, and also hydrogen sulfide, which is part of the compound of sulfur. We also talked about nitrogen oxides, nitrogen 2-oxides, which is a greenhouse gas also, and nitrogen 4-oxide, which causes acid rain. Then we talked about solid particles in the air. So the remaining types of air pollutants, we'll be discussing them in this video and how we can control air pollution. The next air pollutants of interest are heavy metals in the air. Ions of some heavy metals are always found in air. The worst example is lead. Lead find their way into petrol as a matter of increasing the octane number of petrol. That is as a matter of increasing the performance of petrol inside engine. So we normally add an additive called tetraethyl lead. You call it tetraethyl lead. It's an additive used to improve the performance of petrol. Tetraethyl lead 4. So most petrol in the olden days use these additives in their own vehicle, and what normally happen is that it deposits lead into the exhaust pipe and block it. So what some technology uses is that they manufacture some things that instead of the lead to get deposit inside the pipe, the lead will be ejected from the exhaust pipe as a volatile compound. And when that happens, lead compounds will fill the air, and on the road, lead compounds, people selling food by the roadside, lead will deposit inside or on their food from the vehicle that are passing, that are using the leaded petrol as a fuel. And when you go there to buy such food and you consume it without washing very well, you are stylishly eating lead into your blood system. And apart from that, those ones that are not even dropping on top of food, you can inhale them directly into your blood system, and through that people get poisoned. You call it lead poisoning. Lead poisoning causes damage of the central nervous system. It causes brain damage in human being, causes brain damage in young children majorly. Hydrocarbon is another air pollutant. Hydrocarbon enter into our atmosphere when fuel evaporates from storage tanks, or when there is a leakage in the storage tank and they enter into our environment. Now, hydrocarbon example is methane. It's a greenhouse gas, that is, it can cause greenhouse effect and lead to global warming. Apart from that, you can also get this hydrocarbon from the exhaust pipe of vehicles when there is incomplete combustion. So when there's incomplete combustion of fuel, apart from smoke coming out, carbon 2-oxide can come out, and also methane gas can also be produced by incomplete combustion. So I've mentioned the fact that you can get the hydrocarbon into the atmosphere by evaporation from storage tanks, by leakage of storage tanks, and by incomplete combustion of fuel from the exhaust pipe. Many hydrocarbons are carcinogenic. They cause cancer when they are present in your body for too much. They also produce heavy smog. Smogs are stagnant air when they react with nitrogen oxides in the presence of light. They produce heavy smog, stagnant air. This heavy smog can lead to headache and can lead to central disorder when people are exposed to smog too much, and this is caused by hydrocarbon. Fluorocarbon is one of the most common and the most important air pollutant. Chlorofluorocarbon is a destroyer of the ozone layer. Our ozone layer is very thick. That layer contains ozone and about 2 kilometers thick. It surrounds our Earth atmosphere and prevents the heat from the sun from entering our Earth atmosphere completely. Because without the ozone layer, all the heat will just be entering our sun. All the heat from the sun will just be entering our Earth and melt everything altogether. So, but the ozone layer is helping us and shielding us from the effect of too much heat of the sun. Apart from chlorofluorocarbon, nitrogen oxide can destroy the ozone layer by this chemical reaction when nitrogen oxide reacts with ozone, that's the ozone layer now, to give us NO2 and split the ozone to oxygen and monoatomic oxygen. Now this single oxygen combine with NO2 to give us NO and oxygen back. So the NO2 continues, to deplete our ozone layer. So it depletes ozone layer. Apart from NO2, that's oxides of nitrogen, chlorofluorocarbon can also deplete our ozone layer. In fact, is the one that depletes the ozone layer most. And how does it happen? Chlorofluorocarbon is very popular in our environment. It is used as propellant in aerosol can and also as a refrigerant. All those hair cream, hair spray, deodorant, perfumes, insecticide, they contain chlorofluorocarbon. So that the one that is ejecting those deodorants out of the bottle, they are chlorofluorocarbon. Apart from that, they are used as refrigerant, and in your AC, your fridge, your freezer, they are present there as refrigerant. And whenever you use them, you are discharging them into the Earth's atmosphere. And the cause. So, and you know what they are going to cause? They are going to cause depletion of ozone layer by the following mechanisms. Number one, they are very stable, so they will not get decomposed on the Earth, and they will not react with anything on the Earth. So they will slowly move up to the stratosphere where the ozone layer is located, and then they absorb ultraviolet light from that Earth atmosphere, from the sun, and split up into atomic chlorine. That atomic chlorine will now react with ozone. When it reacts with ozone, it will split the ozone into oxygen and deplete it. Now, when it gets depleted, there will be increase in the amount of heat or UV radiation reaching the Earth's surface. When there's too much radiation on the earth, there will be sunburn, there will be skin cancer, and then there will be drought. Plant growth will reduce, and there will be climate change. So these are the effects or consequences of depletion of ozone layer: increase in the heat, sunburn, skin cancer, climate change, and drought. How can we control this air pollution? Number one, by education and awareness. People should be should be made to know that whatever they do affect the environment, and the environment also affects them in return. So when people have knowledge of the consequences of what they are doing to affect the environment, they will stop doing that. So education and awareness is the strongest measure to prevent or control air pollution. Number two is by government legislation, government regulation. Government should make strict laws to reduce air pollution by industries that are normally bringing out all these pollutants. They should make anti-pollution laws that will help the society. Number three, let engineers that are making these vehicles make it so that the incomplete combustion will reduce, and then there will be less carbon dioxide and less hydrocarbon in our atmosphere when they make engines that burns fuel completely. Then number four, by reducing the use of solid and liquid fossil fuel. Let's begin to use gaseous fossil fuel that don't produce too much carbon dioxide, too much pollutant. Let's use gaseous fuel that undergoes that don't produce too much carbon dioxide, like coal or petroleum. Let's begin to use fuel like gas cooker, and the gases in them normally burn completely. So there will be less pollutant produced from gaseous fuel. So if we can encourage others to start using gaseous fuel instead of liquid and solid fossil fuel, then this can also help to reduce the air pollution. Then treatment of waste gases before disposal. Before disposing waste gases into the atmosphere, let them be treated before being released into the atmosphere. Let them be treated and made harmless before they are discharged into the atmosphere. So these ways can prevent or can control air pollution measures. So this is the end of air, and I hope you are blessed. If you have any question, you can ask me under the comment section. God bless you.